Okay, hey guys, welcome back. This should be our third kind of presentation video, and I want to kick off the Adobe Creative Cloud and also our video tutorials for Project 1. So you should have created your mind maps and sketches. Yay, hopefully that went well for you. I think I have already given you feedback in Blackboard. I don't know when I'll be doing that for you, but very shortly here. So I want to, let me pull my fat head out of the way here. There we go. All right, sweet. So I want to walk you through a few things. So Creative Cloud, you should, if you haven't already got your Creative Cloud, you need to go and get that account, sign up with that account through the link that I have in Blackboard, also in the syllabus. Essentially, conceptually, how it works is you are purchasing a key to the gate to get to Photoshop and to Illustrator and to Premiere Pro. Back in the day, you used to buy a DVD. And once you own that DVD, you had it for your life, and you could give it to your friend or sell it to your friend, whatever. But the license number was also a big deal. So how Adobe and a lot of other, like Netflix, think about any, multimedia that you are subscribing to, the subscription model is where probably everything's going, and it's frustrating, but it's good and bad. It's frustrating because it costs, right? Consistently, it's a continual cost. But the upside is that you get new updates kind of all the time, and things, tools or things that weren't there before are now there. So you should have access to it. What you'll do is you'll download the Creative Cloud desktop app from the browser once you're logged in, and once you have this, it should look something like this. Creative Cloud, mine looks like this down here, a little like rainbow icon, C and C. And once you're inside of it, this is what you should be looking at. Make sure this says your name. If you need to manage your account, you can click here and go. If you go to Adobe account here, that takes you to the website where you're logged in. But you need to have downloaded let me see if I can go look at it real quick. There's a desktop app. You need to have the desktop app downloaded. Where is that? Let's see. Creative Cloud desktop app. Yeah, where is it at? Creative Cloud download. So I might need to give you guys a link to this, but you should have some sort of a link somewhere. Maybe I'll put that in Blackboard right now. You need to have this link to download the actual Creative Cloud app, because that's the app you need on your machine while you are working. Once you're looking at it, I like to go to the apps view over here on the left and find Photoshop. You don't need to download like everything all at once. I would just download each specific piece of software that we need for that project. So Photoshop is the first one. Install it and let that do its thing. It's probably going to take 20 to 40 minutes to download it. Make sure you give that a bit of time to get it downloaded. And in the Mac Lab, it's already loaded on those machines. This is what it used to look like. I need to update that. I would just load one at a time. The next thing you need to do is build the folder structure in your USB drive. If you haven't, you should have already built it. But the thing I want you to do now is make sure you have this tutorials folder created, because that's where we're going to start saving stuff as we work here. Essentially, if we're in class, students come in and log into the iMacs and then plug in their thumb drives and then start working. They log into the Macs and then log into Creative Cloud. That's a big thing. If you're on your personal machine, once you log into Creative Cloud, I'm just using the key command to show all my stuff here. Once you log into Creative Cloud, it stays logged in. So I turn on my machine and Creative Cloud is logged in already. So you won't need to log in and out. If you're using somebody else's machine or you're coming to the Mac Lab, you will need to use that other flow. The biggest thing I want to highlight is whenever you're working with your thumb drive, make sure you eject it if you're using it. Even on your personal devices, don't ever just yank it out. Like, always eject it. If you don't know how to eject it, go look up a quick tutorial. Normally it's a right click on that item and then eject. On Windows, I think there's a little icon down here in the bottom right. It's like green and it looks like a little thumb drive. You right click it and it say eject. But always get in the habit of ejecting. If it says, hey, I can't eject it because something's working on it, then you might need to close that app, whatever that app is. That Photoshop still got a file open from the thumb drive. It won't let you eject it. So make sure you go close everything. But the flow is, plug in your thumb drive, log in, get Creative Cloud going, plug in your thumb drive, open your Photoshop app, work on your projects, whatever that is. Open it from your thumb drive, close those projects, log out of Creative Cloud, and then eject the thumb drive. And again, you guys won't need to log out of Creative Cloud. Sorry, I don't mean to confuse you here, but that should still be similar. So your mind maps and sketches, these should be turned into Blackboard already. I'll respond if I haven't already and give you feedback on those, because normally we're going to choose one sketch to move forward with. What I also like to open up at this point is you might want to go explore some artificial intelligence a little bit. I've got 2 links in Blackboard that I like to ask or have students play with a little bit. So right here, artificial intelligence resources, if you click into that, there's 2, one's called Deep AI, one's called Bing Image Creator. The Deep AI is cool. It's not quite as fancy, but the Bing Image Creator is really cool, and it's a lot more detailed. So read through those, but essentially what I like to offer is I like to suggest that you take your 5 words from your mind map and go let AI create some visuals for you. This is the optimum time to use artificial intelligence because you've already done your own thing, and now it's time to see if the AI can do anything different. And if that's inspiring for you, feel free to use that as a piece of inspiration moving forward. I've got a little, what do they call this? Discussion right here, artificial intelligence. Feel free to post any of the images that you create from AI here. And let's see what craziness you came up with. I'll show you a few of the ones that I created. So in the past, we did a big mind map in class, and the words that we came up with were bold, crime, vigilante, money, and bats. I don't know why those, but so we submitted those this is the Deep AI tool, and we submitted those just as a comma. So bold, comma, crime, comma, vigilante, comma, money, comma, bats. And these are the visuals, and you can see they're kind of cartoony, right? Do you see that? But as a layout, it could be cool. What if you had a layout where these 5 people were all standing side by side? Or what if there was a layout that had this kind of pie shape cut out of it? Or maybe it's more of a poster with the single dude right in the middle. There's some stuff getting cropped off here. But I think as a layout and as kind of a tool to show you some other ideas, I think this is a great time to do that. So that's Deep AI. The Bing Image Creator, on the other hand, this one got really cool in my opinion. So this one, you got to log in, and just note if you have a Microsoft account, I think you have an account, but build you an account really quick. It's free, it's easy, but that allows you to start playing with it. And this one, the way you want to do it is articulate kind of a sentence using those words. And I highlight this in the Blackboard assignment. So read through these, but this will explain this a little bit more. But here are some of the visuals that we got from this tool, and the phrase or the directive, what do they call it? I can't remember. The cue, the thing that you give to it so that it creates it was this is what we literally typed out. Create an image of a hyper-realistic bat making money as a vigilante, stopping crime in a bold way. So if you notice, all 5 of those words are in there. What were they? Sorry. Crime, bold, crime, vigilante, money, and bats. So create an image of a hyper-realistic bat making money as a vigilante, stopping crime in a bold way. So these are some of the visuals that we got out of that, and in my opinion, these are way cooler, right? So we've got this kind of crazy bat. Obviously, this is tied back to Batman, but I love the realistic bat. Here's 2 more that we got out of it. If you notice the hands, it's not really doing hands that well. One of them, the hands got kind of crazy. Yeah, like these right here, like the hands are kind of morphed into his skin. It gets a little funny with certain aspects. And hands are one of them that it just can't do very well yet. But try the Bing image creator, and if you find something cool, submit it back to the Blackboard discussion. I think that could be a fun way. Okay, I want to switch gears on you a little bit and talk about the Mac OS. So OS stands for operating system. And actually, now that I think about this, this may not be that good of a fit because you guys may be on all Windows machines. But in the Mac lab, we're doing a lot of work on Mac, so I highlight that in class. If you're working on a Mac, get with me. I'd love to show you some cool things. But this concept of an operating system or a GUI, this stands for Graphical User Interface. And there's just a lot of ways to do stuff. So I want you to know I'm not a Mac only kind of guy or Windows only. I think both are great tools. I've used both professionally. The Windows tool did some really cool stuff. The Windows OS does some really cool stuff that Mac doesn't, and Mac does some things that Windows doesn't. But I think they're both totally usable. The only thing I'll highlight is, and I did it already in another video, but if I'm giving you key commands on a Mac, it's Command, C, Command V to copy and paste. But on a Windows machine, all you do is use your pinky to do Control C, Control V. So all of the key commands are totally still usable. You just need to substitute Command for Control. That's it. It's nothing crazy. There are a lot of key commands that I love to have students start using. If you've never used key commands, you should. You need to. They make you a lot faster. In Blackboard, there's a PDF here. So download that, print it, study it. There's a lot of really good, useful key commands that I want you to start practicing because it makes you faster. Another thing, which it's tough because we're all virtual here, but your posture. If you notice, I'm already hunching. I have a phenomenal chair here, and I'm hunching over. So you need to sit comfortably. You need to sit with your chest up and your back kind of comfortable. Don't do the hunchback thing. If you can, and also get your chair as high as you can to your table. If your chair doesn't go up anymore, then maybe find another chair. But what you don't want to be is you don't want to have your elbows like this right on the table because you're sitting so low. You want to be sitting up high enough to where your elbows are comfortably down. So make sure your chair is comfy and set up well. So I need to change my presentation. This isn't in class. This is on your own here online. But I have set up a ton of video tutorials for you to get into Photoshop. And these are mission critical. You need to take your time with them. But the first thing I want you to do is to create a folder structure. And the folder you need to build now is called tutorials. So if you haven't already built that, build a tutorial folder and build it inside of your project 1 folder because all of your work during these tutorials needs to be saved into this folder. There's a big zip file that I have you download, and whenever you download it, you need to put it in that folder. So here is Blackboard. Project 1, you should have already watched this kickoff video and done that. You should have already done the ideation. You may have already done some artificial intelligence. Here are the video tutorials, and this video should live like right here. I just haven't done it yet, so here it'll live right here. But there's 2 sets of tutorials, Group A and Group B. Notice the due dates. They're due on the consecutive days, the 2nd and the 3rd here. Let's go into A, and I'll show you what's happening. So actually, it should look like this. Sorry. Not much different, but let's keep going into it. All right, project 1, Photoshop. Here are our video tutorials. Boom. Project 1 tutorial, video tutorials group A. Yes, I want to start. This is due on the 2nd at 11:59. So here's the deal. Below are several tutorials to walk you through. You will walk through to dive into the realm of Photoshop. Word of the wise. Review the deliverables section below before beginning the video tutorials. You still need to walk through 1 through 4, but you will only need to capture screenshots of tutorials 5, 6, and 7 from this group. So I've got 7 video tutorials, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But only, I think 5, 6, and 7 are the only ones that you're going to actually create a actual screenshot for. So the deliverables for these, you're going to submit screenshots of each Photoshop tutorial that you do, and then you're going to submit that to the assignment. So at the end of the video tutorial, you're going to stop and open. I'll show you, I think I show you how to do the screenshots like in maybe video 1. But follow that because I want to see certain things in your Photoshop file and capture a screenshot that shows this stuff. So I have you show the actual work that you're doing as well as the layers folder. So make sure that you follow this. Use the key command here to show the whole work area and make sure the layers palette is visible. So you're not going to submit the actual Photoshop file. Don't do that. The Photoshop files get heavier. They weigh a lot more than a screenshot, and I don't need the actual Photoshop files right now. So just submit screenshots. If you don't know how to do a screenshot on a Mac, here's how to do it. This link right here. And on a Windows, here's how to do it. There's a couple ways in Windows. Just make sure you're able to capture what you need to, and that is the Photoshop file with the layers palette open. So each one of these tutorials, some of them are, this one's, 7 or 8 minutes. Some of them are longer. So just a heads up, these take a minute. Don't think you can do this in a 20-minute session. Again, this is one of the things that takes a while, but I'm showing you how to do all this cool stuff. And in 6 and 7, and we finally, the first few, I'm kind of walking you through how to use all of the different pieces that we're going to need. And then 6 and 7, we start actually getting into the fun stuff. Once you do all those, again, submit sorry, I think I skipped over this. There's a zip file that you need to download. So make sure you download this and put it into that tutorials folder. And then when you start submitting, you're going to submit your screenshots here. For group B, once you get into group B, let me get in here. It's the same thing. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you've got all those to walk through. And this is where it starts getting into the totally usable. I'm showing you how to do stuff that's going to help you in your actual Photoshop work, Photoshop project. I'm showing you the tools and how to use them, and then we're going to start doing something with your actual collage. So the whole idea here is we're taking your mind maps and doing sketches, and then I'm showing you all these tools in Photoshop. Then we're going to look at those sketches again and start trying to recreate that in Photoshop, and I'll show you how to do that as we get there. Again, you're going to submit screenshots of each one of these, and don't submit the actual Photoshop file. I don't need that. And this is the same thing, kind of same as the group A assignments here. Here's where you'll submit, and boom, you'll have the tutorials done. So the tutorials are due on the 2nd and the 3rd. Make sure you're meeting those deadlines, because from there, then we start working on the actual collage portion. So see you next time. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Reach out if you have any questions. All right, see you guys.